Sindh is one of the 4 provinces of Pakistan. Located in the southeast of the country, Sindh is the 3rd largest province of Pakistan by area and 2nd largest province by population. After Punjab, Sindh is bordered by Baluchistan province to the west and Punjab to the north. Sindh also borders the Indian states of Gujarat and Rajasthan to the east and the Arabian Sea to the south. Sindh's landscape consists mostly of alluvial plains flanking the Indus River, the Thar Desert in the eastern portion of the province along the border with India, and the Kir Thar Mountains in the western part of Sindh. Sindh's economy is Pakistan's 2nd largest after Punjab, while its provincial capital Karachi is Pakistan's largest city and its main financial hub. Sindh is home to a large portion of Pakistan's industrial sector and contains 2 of Pakistan's busiest commercial seaports, Port Bin Qasim and the Karachi port. The remainder of Sindh has an agriculture-based economy and produces fruits, food consumer items and vegetables for the consumption of other parts of the country. Sindh is sometimes referred to as Bab-ul-Islam, or Gateway of Islam, as it was the earliest region in South Asia to Islamists, beginning with the arrival of Umayyad general Muhammad ibn Qasim 712 CE. Its largest ethnicity is the Sindhi people, although there are significant communities of other groups. The province is known for its distinct culture, which is strongly influenced by Sufism. An important marker of Sindhi identity for both Hindus and Muslims, several important Sufi shrines are located throughout the province which attract millions of annual devotees. Sindh is home to 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the historical monuments at Makli and the archaeological ruins at Mohenjo-daro. The Greeks who conquered Sindh in 325 BC under the command of Alexander the Great referred to the Indus River as Indus, hence the modern Indus. The ancient Iranians referred to everything east of the river Indus as Hind. The word Sindh itself is a Persian word, which itself is a derivative of the Sanskrit term Sindhu, meaning river, a reference to Indus River. Southworth suggests that the name Sindhu is in turn derived from Sintu, a Dravidian word for date palm, a tree commonly found in Sindh. The previous spelling, Sindh, was discontinued in 1988 by an amendment passed in Sindh Assembly, and is now spelled Sindh. Sindh's first known village settlements date as far back as 7000 BC. Permanent settlements at Murghar, currently in Baluchistan, to the west expanded into Sindh. This culture blossomed over several millennia and gave rise to the Indus Valley civilization around 3000 BC. Sindh was the center of the Indus Valley civilization, which rivaled the contemporary civilizations of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia in size and scope, numbering nearly 500,000 inhabitants at its height with well-planned grid cities and sewer systems. The primitive village communities in Baluchistan were still struggling against a difficult highland environment. A highly cultured people was trying to assert itself at Kot Diji. This was one of the most developed urban civilizations of the ancient world. It flourished between the 25th and 15th centuries BC in the Indus Valley sites of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. The people had a high standard of art and craftsmanship and a well-developed system of quasi-pictographic writing which remains undeciphered. The ruins of the well-planned towns, the brick buildings of the common people, roads, public baths and the covered drainage system suggest a highly organized community. According to some accounts, there is no evidence of large palaces or burial grounds for the elite. The grand and presumably holy site might have been the Great Bath, which is built upon an artificially created elevation. This civilization collapsed around 1700 BC for reasons uncertain. The cause is hotly debated and may have been a massive earthquake, which dried up the Gagar River. Skeletons discovered in the ruins of Mohenjo-daro were thought to indicate that the city was suddenly attacked and the population was wiped out. But further examinations showed that the marks on the skeletons were due to erosion and not of violence. The ancient city of Rorika, identified with modern Aror, Rory, was capital of the Savira kingdom, and finds mentioned early Buddhist literature as a major trading center. Sindh finds mention in the Hindu epic Mahabharata as being part of Bharat Varsha. Sindh was conquered by the Persian Achaemenid Empire in the 6th century BC. In the late 4th century BC, Sindh was conquered by a mixed army led by Macedonian Greeks under Alexander the Great. The region remained under control of Greek satraps for only a few decades. After Alexander's death, there was a brief period of Seleucid rule, before Sindh was traded to the Mauryan Empire led by Chandragupta in 305 BC. During the rule of the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka, the Buddhist religion spread to Sindh.